at that same spot. We're here on the Delaware River. It's early March. Oh, that's a good fish, baby. They're on a winter pattern yet. Heavy, heavy pre-spawn smallmouth is our target today. And we did a good job there getting one to the boat on a tube, a wacky worm tube. Come on back and join me. This is just about to take off right here. Let go of my thumb. Pretty fish, pretty fish.
Brought to you by Case Plastics, makers of the Sinkin' Salty Shad.
The calendar says winter, and the fish are acting accordingly. It's in the 50s today. It's breezy, but it's in the 50s. This time of the year, when you get the water temperatures to spike up to 2 to as much as 4 or 5 degrees in the spring, these bass will start to move out of these eddies and out of these holes, and they'll get out into this soft and sometimes even moderate current on the seams. We call them current breaks. And what the current does is it provides, it's almost, we call it a conveyor belt. They just sit in the slack water. The current brings them their food, and they can sit there and they can feed, and they don't have to move a whole lot. I'm gonna try the hair jig. Now the trick to this whole deal is we got to catch some fish. Hit my hair jig right where he should have, and he creamed it. Cold water smallies, baby. Now what I did there, I started fishing this hole up into the, boy, that is pretty. That is a pretty bass. Into the head of the eddy. There's a lot of current there. And I said if there's one up there, it's going to be an aggressive one. As soon as I got down to where the water's dead calm, that's where that fish hit it. She thumped it. That was no mush mouth bite there. She absolutely thumped it. She hit it hard. One of my favorite times of the year. You know, if you get one this time of the year, it's probably 70% chance if it's going to be a good fish. You're going to sacrifice numbers, but you're going to get good ones. I want to show you real quickly the trick to a hair jig. Take a look at that dry hair jig. Look at all that hair, how it stands up. And it's on a jig head. That jig's made by Don's Handcrafted Jigs. Now when it gets wet, it looks all mashed together, but if it's on the bottom of the water, that thing pulsates. It just lays down there, and this kind of puffs out like a pom-pom. I don't have to touch that lure, and it almost gives it life. That hair just kind of goes back and forth. That's the key to a hair jig, because when the fish are really slow and when it's cold, you got to get them to move without moving your jig, because the fish aren't going to chase the jig. So they want it to be right in front of them, and they want to see that almost lifelike appearance that gets created by that hair just pulsating. That's why they're so effective. I don't have to add any movement to that jig to create life. And the fish sees it as, oh, there's something moving there. Dog, I got you. I got you. Oh, baby. Got you the second time. Oh, no. We're on the Delaware River. It's early March. It's a winter pattern. Fish are slow, they're deep, and they're very heavy. As you can see, that fish hit a hair jig. How about that? 40-degree water, pre-spawn female. See the mud belly? They bury themselves down in the mud, in the sand, and they get this heavy grayish black, and they almost have, they'll have mud on there. Come on back and join me for some more. We will be back in a moment.
Wayne's Custom Crafted Rods, repairing and reconstructing fishing rods, using the latest reel seats, handles, guides, and guide placement. Freshwater, saltwater, casting, spinning, and fly rods made to order. Quality custom fishing rods, crafted to your specifications using the latest rod building components and techniques. Wayne's Custom Crafted Rods. Call or email today.
Ponderosa Pines, a family-oriented campground nestled beneath the trees. Relax by your campfire, lounge by our heated pool, fish on our beautiful lake. Join our themed weekend activities. Tent camping is waiting those who want to camp the old-fashioned way, and new park model cabins offer the experience of camping with the luxuries of home. Ponderosa Pines Campgrounds. Come and join the fun. PonderosaPinesCampgrounds.com.
Baby, where you going, girl? Where you going? Oh, there's a bigger one with her. There's a bigger fish with her. Oh no, baby. Na 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 na. Hey, tube. I don't know what Lou did there, wacky worm, but look this dog up. He called this tsunami craw. Cold water crayfish in our local rivers have a lot of blues and purples in their claws. That's what that's supposed to imitate. I don't know how he got that thing about 5 different colors, but the fish seem to like it right here. Wintertime, early springtime, regardless of what the calendar says, there are good opportunities for quality smallmouth bass on the Delaware River. It's a little female, see the mud belly? It's cold, but these fish want to eat. If you take a look at that bank in there, that's a good example of what we call a transition bottom. That's a muddy, sandy, mucky bank. And about 15 feet into the water, that merges with some prime rock cover. Wintertime and pre-spawn, they really prefer areas like that with some light current. Really bend it open. Make sure you check your hooks after getting snags free, especially when you're using super lines and braid. The line is stronger than the hook a lot of times. Hooks will bend or break. I had a gentleman on my boat on a guided trip one day. Dropped 3 nice smallmouth, and by just being funny, I just said to him, "Do you have a hook on there?" He pulled the tube up into his hand and looked. He said, "No." The hook had broken off about a half hour prior to that on a snag that he had. And it cost him all those fish. So when you pop snags off, check your hooks. They get dull. File the point again, or just flat out get another jig head. Hold that thought. This is a good fish. This is a big fish. This is a big fish. Oh, I don't think it's quite as big as I thought, but she is really, oh, doggy. Whoa, baby. Holy crow. That fish is mad. Come here, baby. I can't. Open your mouth. Wow. I'm going to tell you what, that fish didn't realize the water temperature was 42 degrees. That's a pretty bass. Delaware River bronze back. As good as it gets right there. She blasted that tube. She thumped that tube like it was the Last Supper. There we go. Boy, oh boy. I was late on that hook set. I'm lucky I got that one to the boat. That tube again. Boy, I tell you what, they like this tube. Look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. I got that fish on the outside. That shouldn't count. You know, we fished this area a little bit earlier today, and they weren't eating here. And we went about 2.5 hours without even as much as a sniff or a follow on a jerkbait. That requires persistence and patience. When we come back, Bass Edge television show host and Bass Pro Aaron Martin is going to talk a little bit about how he maintains his focus when things aren't going just as expected on the water. We'll be back in a moment. River fish live in nasty places.
The River Pro 186 Low Pro is the ultimate shallow water fishing machine. Agile, aggressive, and armed to the teeth with all the angling ammo you'll ever need. With the Mercury Sport Jet, you'll fly over just inches of water, places no ordinary boat could go. River Pro, hard-bellied, all-welded, custom-built jet boats for the serious river fishermen like you.
My name is Vince Laprie, president of Innerbaits. We came out with a new product, the Wacky Stick. We came up with a unique insert that goes inside. So when you wacky rig these baits in the center, it doesn't tear through the bait. These will hold up for 30 or 40 fish versus 3 or 4. www.vinnerbaits.com.
Here today with Bass Edge host Aaron Martin. Aaron, it's a pleasure.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for stopping by. Explain to the viewers what Bass Edge is exactly.
Well, Bass Edge, you know, when we founded Bass Edge, it was on the premise of instruction and education. And of course, our main thrust is going to be the television show, which is on WFN and also on the Outdoor Channel.
You were involved in competitive tournament fishing. How many years?
Oh man, you know, I joined in my first club when I was 15, I guess, and started fishing then. So it's certainly something that's always been in my system and in my blood. But you know, there's so many great anglers, and that's why I'm so fortunate, and you know this, because you're in the same position, but getting to do this for a living, there is nothing better. And my true passion, although I have a competitive spirit, it's still about figuring out that little green monster that swims under the water. And really, that's the competition, regardless if you pay a formal entry fee or not. So unfortunately, I don't get to do near as much as what I used to, but as far as I'm concerned, that's, you know, no big deal because I'm having the time of my life. And so now we kind of have this slogan at Bass Edge, now is the moment, pursue your passion. And you know, if you don't do it now, it's never.
A friend of mine is basically a spiritual advisor. He said to me, what's your dream? And I said, I want to fish.
Well, that's actually one of my clients, had a production company, never done anything in the outdoors, and knew that I fished and fished competitively. And he made the comment, he said, you ever thought about doing a fishing show? I'm like, Yeah, I thought about it and thought how great it must be, you know, for Roland Martin and all the other outdoor programming icons.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, who am I to do that?
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to meet for dinner, and so anyway, from the notes of a cocktail napkin, actually, Bass Edge was kind of born. But then made the decision. You know, that was the big thing when I walked away from the firm, and I didn't totally walk away. I'm still involved with them a little bit, but making that transition from walking away from a lucrative financial career, you know, everybody were like, "You're going to do what?"
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like, and that's why I'm so about that fishing and golf and sports. Once you get to a certain fundamental level, it's in your. I mean, there's so much mental warfare, and if it's about balance. I mean, if you don't have, if you're not in shape physically,
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the easiest. But if we're not in shape emotionally or spiritually and mentally,
That's it.
I mean, something's going to break there.
Yep.
You can't be out here fishing, making a cast, worrying about the cell phone, worrying about how am I going to pay my bill, worrying about my relationship with my wife or anything like that.
Yes.
Because you're going to miss those subtle clues, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, that is persistence is nothing short of a virtue for wintertime fishing. There's no doubt about that. I went 2 hours without even a sniff in some of my best holes here today, and I just know the fish are here. Very key tip in landing slow wintertime bass on jigs is when you do feel that tap or that thump, you have to remember, see, my rod tip is elevated, it's very high, and I like that because it keeps the line taut, and I'm in contact with the bottom with my jig. I can feel it. Problem is, if I get a bite right there, I've got to really be quick and reel down fast before I set the hook. Because if I try to set the hook with slack line, and I did it twice already today, you don't stick the fish and you end up throwing a fit. I missed him. No! Oh, that was a bite. Because quite frankly, in the wintertime, I don't know when the next bite's gonna come. Oh! Boy, that hurt. Things are getting very serious now. I just missed a very quality smallmouth on a hair jig. Threw in there and had another mushy and got stuck. Oh, you dummy. I'm stuck. Whoa, doggy! For cold water, boy, she's got some fight to her. Skinny. Skinny fish. She hit that jerkbait on the swing. She's skinny. See, she's got a muddy belly. They call that the muddy belly from the wintertime. You get them in the winter. Boy, she's really cold too. Skinny Minnie, you got to get some spunk on you, girl. I was starting to wonder if we were ever going to catch another fish again. Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea the dejection I felt when I missed that fish. That's a fish. It's a stickerel. Ladies and gentlemen, the elusive Delaware River stickerel fish. You'll catch a lot of those on hair jigs in the wintertime too. We'll be back in a moment.
Mark Holenchik Home Improvements now installs sun tunnels. Do you have a dark room or hallway? A sun tunnel skylight can brighten your home. And you'll save on your electric bill by not using lights during the day. We can transform your room in just a couple of hours. Call now and receive a 3-day, 2-night hotel accommodation at one of 24 popular resort destinations. Be sure to visit our website or call Mark Holenchik Home Improvements today.
Wayne's custom crafted rods, repairing and reconstructing fishing rods, using the latest reel seats, handles, guides, and guide placement. Freshwater, saltwater, casting, spinning, and fly rods made to order. Quality custom fishing rods crafted to your specifications using the latest rod building components and techniques. Wayne's custom crafted rods. Call or email today. Do you own an outboard jet motor? Backwoods Angler TV's new DVD, 30-minute PM Outboard Jet Preventative Maintenance, is sure to save you money from repairs, and it will keep you on the water and on the fish.
Miss you that time. I had a bite in that previous cast and a little gust of wind. I had no way of setting the hook on that fish. That gust of wind came right as that fish hit. I had a 10-foot bow in the line, couldn't catch up to him. Come on, baby, don't do that. There you go. Good smallmouth. Pretty fish, huh? Wow. Quality fish is what it's all about this time of year. Look at how she wants to just curl herself. That one, I drug right across a rock, felt it come out of the rock, and felt that fish tap it. Little jerkbait fish. Hit that little Excalibur. She's not as little as I thought she was. Come on, Bubba, you got it right where I want to lip you. She swiped at it once. I looked at my cameraman and I said, what was that? Little jerkbait fish. Got a little pigment deal going on there. Nice little fish. Put her back. All right. That was a more aggressive fish actually there. I only had that thing paused for about 2 or 3 seconds and that fish hit it. The Excalibur makes these jerkbaits. It's called a suspending jerkbait. What that means, there are chambers in the belly of this bait and they are full of weights, or like BBs. The lip will determine how far the bait dives, but these weights will determine whether it floats up or sinks. And they have this specifically balanced. The trick to these jerkbaits is the pause. Once the fish allow you to decide what cadence you want to twitch, the pause is the key because those weights allow that bait to stay down in front of the fish. I'll pause this lure sometimes 15, 20, 25 seconds. It drives me crazy to have to do it that way, but in order to get bites in this cold water, you have to do that. And those weights and that make this bait suspend are the key to that success. Sharp hooks are also a key to that success because the fish, a lot of times, they'll swipe at the lure, and all I'll look for when that happens is my line to just jump a little bit, and then I'm going to set the hook. And a soft-tipped rod, is key in putting those hooks into those fish. Try that the next time out with a jerkbait. I didn't even feel him grab it. Oh boy, it's a good one. That's a good fish. I didn't even feel him grab it. A lot of good quality fish. No hogs today, but a lot of good quality fish. Come here, Bubba. Woo! She crushed it. She got the head treble too. How about that? I can't get to my needle nose. Good smallmouth. no. Ah! Boy, that's fun. That is really fun. I just had a pretty good run of fish right there. 5 or 6 nice smallmouth in probably 40 minutes. And my thinking was early, from about 12 to 2:30, we were really struggling for bites. I thought we need to get this sun at a lower angle. Now the sun's at a lower angle, but the sun's over my shoulder here, so it is warming this bank yet. It's at a lower angle, so the light's lower, so it's getting the fish a little more active in this just slightly stained water. It's not clear, but it's clear-ish. It only has a light stain to it. And the sun has warmed this bank, so I think these fish are a little more active over here. That's why we had that flurry. Delaware River pre-spawn cold water smallmouth bass fishing. I'm telling you, man, is that beautiful or what? I'm Blaine Mengel, Backwoods Angler TV. Check our website, backwoodsanglertv.com. Good fishing. Goodbye. She wants no part of this deal. A burst of smoke into my cameraman's face. See, the trick to these jerk baits is 5 or 6 fish on about a half an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today on Backwoods Angler TV, Shaquille O'Neal. You want to make sure you pause the lure for enough of a... Hey, I feel much better after watching that Bass Edge stuff. That dude took about 14 takes on one thing. Quiet. I lost him.
Backwoods Angler TV, brought to you by Case Plastics.
I caught a fish.
Fuel your passion with Backwoods Angler TV. 2 4-pound fish, our first 3 fish. This is not your run-of-the-mill fishing show.
You're cool, right? You are cool.
Catch it all here as we bring fishing hotspots right to your living room.
Oh my goodness, that's a big fish. Join us for some great fishing on the Backwoods Angler.
Visit backwoodsanglertv.com for showtimes and listings.
Did you see her jump?